Have you ever tried so hard to get rid of negative thoughts that they only got louder? Like telling yourself, "Don't feel anxious," and suddenly anxiety becomes the main thing you feel? What if healing wasn't about fighting your thoughts, but learning to hold them lightly while moving toward what matters? Welcome to Mind Made Clear, where mental health meets clarity. We believe therapy should feel less like a mystery and more like a map. Many people begin therapy unsure of what to expect or what kind of approach will actually help. CBT, ACT, EFT, or EMDR? Don't know the difference? You are not alone. So if you're asking, what kind of therapy is right for me? Let's find your fit together. Today we're exploring acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. An approach that helps you stop struggling with your mind and start living your values. Fasten your seatbelts, set your seat to upright position, get ready for takeoff to mind clarity. What is it? ACT was developed by psychologist Dr. Stephen C. Hayes in the 1980s. It combines mindfulness, behavioral science, and acceptance strategies to help you create a meaningful life, even when pain or fear are present. In ACT, the goal isn't to eliminate difficult thoughts or emotions. It's to change your relationship with them. You learn to accept what's out of your control and commit to actions that align with your values. Who is it for? ACT is especially helpful for people who feel stuck in avoidance, constantly battling anxiety, guilt, or self-doubt instead of living their lives. It's used for anxiety disorders, depression, trauma, OCD, and burnout. But it's also powerful for anyone struggling with the idea of, "I'll live once I feel better." If you've ever caught yourself waiting to be ready, ACT says you don't have to feel good to live well. You just have to show up. How does a session look like? In an ACT session, your therapist might ask you to slow down, breathe, and notice your inner experience. Not to control it, but to observe it. You'll learn skills like defusing, stepping back from thoughts rather than fusing with them. Acceptance, allowing feelings to exist without judgment. Present moment awareness, focusing on what's here, now. Values clarification, identifying what truly matters to you. Committed action, making choices that align with those values, even when it's uncomfortable. In ACT, emotions are not enemies. They're part of the human landscape. How does the process look like? ACT is less about fixing problems and more about building flexibility. Psychological flexibility. That means you can hold uncomfortable feelings and still move toward what you care about. Think of it this way. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is what happens when we fight pain instead of feeling it. By learning to make space for your inner experiences, you free up energy to live with purpose. In ACT, mindfulness isn't about calmness, it's about openness. It teaches you to say, "This feeling hurts," and "I can still take the next step." Let's revisit Rohan, the same person we've seen through other approaches. Rohan has made big progress. He's more aware, balanced, and emotionally connected. But lately, he's stuck again. He wants to change careers, but fear holds him back. What if I fail? What if it's a mistake? Every time he tries to plan, self-doubt takes over. In ACT, Rohan's therapist introduces the idea of defusing, seeing thoughts as words, not truths. She asks Rohan to close his eyes and repeat his fear out loud. What if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail? After a few repetitions, the sentence loses some of its power. It becomes sound, not prophecy. That's defusing, recognizing that thoughts are just passing events, not commands. Then they explore acceptance. Instead of pushing fear away, Rohan practices noticing it, the tightness in his chest, the racing heart, the trembling hands. The therapist says, "What if fear doesn't need to leave before you take the next step?" They discuss values, what matters most to Rohan. He says, growth, creativity, honesty. Together they plan one small step aligned with those values, scheduling an informational call for the new role. It's not about eliminating fear, it's about moving with it. A few sessions later, Rohan says, "I still feel anxious, but I'm not letting anxiety decide my life anymore." That's the essence of ACT, accepting discomfort, clarifying what you value, and acting anyway. Try it yourself. Here's a simple ACT-inspired exercise. Close your eyes and notice a thought that's been bothering you. Now say, "I'm having the thought that," before the sentence. For example, instead of, "I'm a failure," say, "I'm having the thought that I'm a failure." That small phrase creates distance, reminding you that you're not your thoughts. You're the one observing them. Now, a quick fit check. Ask yourself, do I spend a lot of energy fighting my thoughts or feelings? Do I want to live more by values than by fear? Am I ready to accept that pain is part of life, but suffering is optional? If you said yes, acceptance and commitment therapy might be your fit, especially if you're ready to build a life guided by meaning, not avoidance. That's ACT therapy. Mindful, courageous, and values-driven. It reminds us that happiness isn't the goal. Presence is. You can feel fear, sadness, or doubt and still live a life that matters. If this approach speaks to you, tell us in the comments. Does ACT feel like your fit? And which therapy should we explore next? Don't forget to subscribe, because when your mind is made clear, you live lighter.